Make your free animations. Go animate. Make your free animations. Yeah!
Honey, I'm bored.
I'm bored too.
What can we do today?
I have an idea.
What's your idea, Doris?
The idea would be punishing our kids for no reason. That would be fun. Ha 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 ha.
Sounds a great idea. Let's go upstairs to punish those brats. Caillou, wake the fuck up right fucking now.
Dad, why did you wake me up and yell at me like that?
Caillou, the reason is that today is your punishment day alongside with Rosie. Now let's go downstairs and shut your mouth, you dipshit asshole. Now Caillou and Rosie, today is your punishment day.
But Mom and Dad, we didn't even do anything wrong today.
Caillou, you shut your fucking mouth, you retarded scumbag piece of dog shit. Now Caillou and Rosie, your punishment will be getting shot by a pistol. Goodbye, you stupid brats.
Now that they're dead, let's dance over their dead bodies.
Yes, I'm happy we killed them.
Me too, Boris. I'm so happy we're celebrating their death.
What exactly are you doing, Mom and Dad? Why are you dancing on Caillou and Rosie? Why is Dad carrying a gun? Why is the blood on the floor?
Daisy, this isn't what it looked like.
Let me explain about this. So, basically, your mother and I gave your siblings a punishment day just because we were bored.
We're so sorry about this.
Uh-oh, I think we're in trouble right now. Exactly, Mom and Dad. How could you have done that to them? Do you understand the consequences? I am really disappointed in both of you right now. You're both in a lot of deep fucking trouble right fucking now. Oh my fucking god, oh my fucking god, oh my fucking god.
That's it. I'll call someone who will send you both to hell. Hello, is this Millie? I need you to come to my family's house alongside with your husband. My family's house address is Mailbox 802, Makusapa Road, Goville Neighborhood, Vyond City. I need you both here right now. Okay, bye. They should arrive here at any moment.
So, miss, what do you want, and why did you call us?
The reason is that I want you to send my parents to hell.
Wait, what? Why would you have us do that to your parents?
Then look over there.
Oh, my God. What in the world did they do to their kids?
Now I want you guys send my parents to hell.
But how about you? You live here alone now because your siblings have died, and your parents will be banished to hell.
Don't worry, I have an uncle named Coris and I'll take care of Rosie and Caillou. I will call him now. Hello, Uncle Coris. You should come to our house right now. It is important.
Okay, I will be there in a moment.
He should be here in any moment.
Oh, hello Daisy. What is it for? And why are there two demon imps in this house? Wait, what is that there? What happened here?
Mom and Dad decided it would be a great idea to punish Caillou and Rosie because they couldn't do anything today.
What? You have got to be kidding me. Why would you do that to Caillou and Rosie because you guys were unable to do anything today? This is by far the most stupidest thing you've ever done.
Now I want you to send my parents to hell for eternity.
Daisy, that sounds like a great idea. Boris and Doris should be ashamed of their actions towards Caillou and Rosie.
You guys are going to hell for what you've done to your children.
We're so sorry for what we did.
And please, give us another chance.
Your apology is denied.
And you will not be given another chance for your actions. You have done the worst possible thing to your children.
Now it's time to send you guys to hell.
We shouldn't have done this at the beginning.
This was the worst idea we had done.
It hurts so bad, 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 so bad.
Ouch, 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 ouch.
So, what are you going to do with these corpses?
Well, I'll use Vyond logic to bring Caillou and Rosie back to life. Vyond logic, activate. Wake up, 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 wake up.
Whoa, what happened?
Where's Mom and Dad? And why there's 2 demon imps in our house?
These 2 demon imps sent Mom and Dad to hell because they gave you a punishment day just because they were bored, which is one of the stupidest things they have done.
Oh, we remember now that Mom and Dad punished us for no reason.
But we were glad they faced consequences for their actions.
Besides that, should we go outside for lunch?
That sounds like a fantastic idea, Caillou. Let's go outside and eat.
We go to the mall to buy something we want.
We can go for a walk outside.
What are we waiting for? Let's go. Thanks for watching. Subscribe for more videos. This is Michael Mark, now signing off.
Hey, this is Blizzo. I'd like to tell you that this entire video was recreated in FlashThemes. This is because I was unable to load the original wrapper assets that Michael Mark provided for me when I tried it on my desktop because it appears to have been corrupted. So, I hope you know now. Anyways, that's all I have to say. Goodbye.